Welcome back to Western Mike. Tonight's topic is going to be San Francisco, how the city can repair a lot of its image and get back to being the city that everybody knows it to be. So, am an originally pretty much urban person myself. I am from the suburbs, but am from Chicago. And while I'm not technically a San Francisco resident, I do have a lot of, you know, say in San Francisco. San Francisco has been a major part of my life, but so has Chicago. So, what's cool about Chicago is when you're in Chicago, there's already a friendly vibe, if you will. Not only that, but people just seem to go out of their way to be friendly to you. They even seem to have said this to my friends. People in Chicago seem to recognize somebody who's from Chicago, and they kind of have this, even if they don't know you, they kind of have this welcome back kind of vibe. Not sure if it's the Midwestern thing, not sure if it's just, you know, a lot of just, you know, reading other people well. Not quite sure what's going on there. Uh, but Chicago is, that's a big city, but it seems as if people get along there. Okay, it does for sure seem that people get along in Chicago. People get along in the Midwest. People even get along in New York. People, uh, yeah, but in San Francisco, things are radically different. San Francisco certainly is one of my favorite cities. However, there are definitely some things about San Francisco. Now, you could say this is perhaps more of a symptom of the entitled suburbs that tend to surround San Francisco. But San Francisco seems to also have some of these issues. Uh, and the one thing that San Francisco could really work on. And it's not to say that this is only San Francisco doing this. There are all kinds of places doing this, but this seems to be especially prevalent in San Francisco. Number one, keeping politics to yourself is golden. One time had a person in San Francisco be, grabbing me just because the trolley supposedly almost hit me. And this was an older dude, and this guy was certainly, let's just say, a colorful personality. And when told him, hey, back up a bit, uh, he then told me go back to Texas. Now, who are these people and what do they hope to achieve by saying stuff like that to people they don't know? You don't know, heard this from somebody. You don't know my politics. That was another thing that happened on a bus one time. Somebody called somebody a snowflake or something like that. Now, was there validity to it? Not sure, not quite sure what happened. Didn't turn around in time, but that was certainly an infusion of politics into some kind of altercation. And the movie Swingers has this line: "Out here, trouble finds you," or "Back home, trouble finds you." Yeah, but seems that is more prevalent out here than anywhere else. Trouble coming to find you. It might not be, you know, this trouble where you think you have to look over your shoulder every 5 seconds. No, I don't think that it's really nothing quite that serious, but still an off vibe. And part of that off vibe is that there is just too much politics in San Francisco to the point where it's become a mandated conversation. Politics should not be a mandated conversation. Already, this is a controversial topic. So then, what's the point in bringing it up with a stranger? You're just taking unnecessary risks. What about all the unnecessary risks that you're taking doing that? What if the person doesn't agree with you? What if you make a wrong assumption? What if you say something wrong? What if you say something and you're in the middle of a situation, a lot of professionals, a lot of high up people, and you just make some remark, you make some snide comment, you make some generalization, and the mood in the room just shifted, and now it's just you're an island basically. Yeah, so I've seen this. Uh, just politics is way too crazy in San Francisco. San Francisco, can you please keep politics to yourself? That's I think the number one thing that San Francisco needs to do going forward is if you want to really get all that negativity out of here, if you really want to be done with the bad vibe once and for all, and if you really want to be the comeback city, just this is one of my first videos in a while. Wasn't quite sure what to do with the channel, but I think this is really going to be a channel about San Francisco, how San Francisco can bring itself back, uh, especially because, the counties, they have pretty much come back, but there are still issues that they're not really paying attention to. We might discuss the counties a little bit, but this might be a bit about San Francisco because, you know what, kind of want to, um, don't really want to help the people, but kind of want to help the city more. Yeah, just keeping politics to yourself will go a long way. We'll only discuss politics. We'll only discuss politics when when somebody asks me. And even then, we'll try to make sure that it's the right context, that we're not in front of a bunch of people, and they're not a bunch of people who don't really want to listen to it. Um, Oh yeah, I don't really want to hear politics on public transit. No, definitely some people be doing that. They just they be bringing that stuff up as if it's gas prices. Oh, those gas prices. Um, yeah, it's almost as if you're assuming that everybody agrees with you. Bring up politics in a public space. Now I know that pretty much every state is either a blue state or a red state these days. Where is there a purple state? Geesh. I can't find a purple state. Really can't find a purple state. They call it a purple state, and then the polls close, and the race has been called, pretty much. But that doesn't mean that anywhere you go in a certain state, that everybody's going to agree with you. There could be somebody on the opposite aisle of the spectrum sitting right next to you while you're going off about something, and something that nobody even provoked, asked for. You're just going off about this stuff, and you happen to be sitting next to somebody, and you just ruined their day. And they may not have agreed with you, but they weren't even getting into this stuff. It's just have learned how to get along with people of different political spectrum, and have to tell you that when was in redder areas, politics wasn't really a discussion. When it was a discussion, it was an informed discussion, and it was a little bit more rooted in the facts. It wasn't rooted in emotion, and people only discussed politics when they were invited to do it. They didn't just start, you know, they didn't just start in with this social justice warrior thing. going up to people and wanting to picket like crazy. Geez, in this area, now you have so many seatbelters, and they just want to picket like crazy. They want to act like they, you got folk down here, I swear, you have a bunch of friggin' backpacks down here. They keep trying to do everything all at once, but then they keep, crashing into everyone and everything. We got some backpacks down here, man. We got some backpacks down here. Gee. It's such a headache. And then the backpacks are always all, we're going to make a bunch of physical and psychological demands of you. We're going to make a bunch of physical and psychological demands of you. Now, some of these demands, they make sense, but others, um, the last couple weeks alone have been weird because I've had to deal with not only a lot of, real world tangible expectations, but I've also had to deal with a lot of emotional expectations. And that's been just utterly annoying and just completely just something that I don't like to deal with. Um, Especially emotions from people who don't even know. And the first thing out of their mouth is emotional. That's not really my thing. That's not really. Um, so if I'm already not really somebody who's into a la carte emotions, probably I'm also not into instant politics with other people, discussing politics with strangers, as if it's your uncle's table. It's just gosh, you know, my family doesn't even mention politics that much. My last phone call, it was barely even discussed. Yeah, it was more just wasn't even theory. Was more just a bunch of empirical data about just what's been going on over the last couple generations, and just this total loss of sense of just don't know, just leadership. Don't know. So politics should not be treated as perhaps a household discussion every now and then, but this shouldn't be a mandated public display. There shouldn't be an assumption of universal agreement. There shouldn't be that you make an assumption and nobody gets to call you out on it, or you're going to wreck their status. And no, yeah, just agree with me for as long as you live, or I'm going to sentence you to a life of misery. No. See, the whole political thing, as soon as that comes in, it seems that there's always some misunderstanding or some emotional overload that takes place. And then just you don't want to talk to that person. Why would you talk to that person? Why would you engage in that conversation? No, yeah. If a conversation gets too emotional, well then you have 3 times where not only are you acknowledging me, but you're also not being emotional. So if you are too emotional, and on top of that, you're just acting like other people around you don't even exist. Well then, over the course of 3 times, this is a two-pronged approach. You have to show me that you're not going to be emotional about things, and you're also going to act like other people exist, and not only when you want to air your political opinion. So thanks. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. See you in the next video, and talk soon. Thanks. Bye. Peace.